You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14.
Coming up, Pastor Donnie Talent from Victory Life Church returns to the studio to talk about a new child care and autism center.
Also, a wanted Ohio man is arrested in Lawrence, Kansas.
And as we take a look at the Skywatch storm tracker, look off to the northwest, you see some showers and thunderstorms up that way. They will increase in coverage as the day goes on. We'll have the very latest from the Skywatch Weather Center.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Thanks for joining us for the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. I'm Tanya Bach. One man is dead and 2 others injured after a crash in southwest Missouri. Authorities say a Pittsburgh man was driving on Southwest 60th Road, south of Minden Mines. He drove off the road, hit a tree, and the vehicle overturned. A passenger, 19-year-old Tristan Davis of Mulberry, Kansas, was pronounced dead at the scene. Both the driver and the other passenger were taken to local hospitals for treatment. Authorities arrest a suspect in Kansas wanted for killing 4 people in Ohio. Police in Montgomery County's Butler Township said late Saturday night, 39-year-old Stephen Marlowe was taken into custody by police in Lawrence, Kansas. He is wanted in Ohio for shooting and killing 4 people, and they say Marlowe will be sent to Ohio to face charges. Carter Park in Carthage, Missouri celebrates the unveiling of the new park concept. Participants were able to see how the new park will be in about 5 years. After the unveiling, 7 teams gathered to play in a soccer tournament, which collected money for the park renovation. Pastor John Pettigrew says the tournament is something they specifically wanted to give back to the Hispanic community in Carthage.
Today, just this opportunity for these guys to get out here and be together, fellowship, have a good time, and just build community. So, I mean, that's we're going to be out here for a long time today. I think the final game will start about 7 tonight. So, but it's all about relationships.
The new park will be ready in about 5 years. Chi-Chi Mama's breastfeeding group celebrated World Breastfeeding Week in Joplin. The annual breastfeeding fair with local agencies attending gathered local families to get more information and support for breastfeeding. A lactation consultant from Joplin says mothers should get more support when breastfeeding because the breastfeeding journey can be difficult.
She can be afraid that she's not making enough milk. And the biggest thing is if the baby is growing well, all of that, and she's probably going to get plenty of milk. So, and she just being scared, not really knowing what to expect.
Chi-Chi Mama's breastfeeding group will start meeting quarterly in November. Pregnant and breastfeeding mothers are welcome to join. The Rotary Club volunteers in Pittsburgh were collecting school supplies with the Salvation Army in front of Walmarts. The supplies are distributed by the Pittsburgh Community School District to students in the community. Sunrise Rotary Club's president, Kaylin Height, says the club has participated the last couple of years.
Our club is very passionate about helping kids, so we like to be involved in the community and assisting kids in every way that we can.
Salvation Army's Stuff the Bus school supply drive will take place at more than 4,500 Walmart stores across the country. Thrive Allen County received a $33,000 grant to promote economic growth within Allen County. The organization is planning on creating an incubator to help support and grow local businesses. Incubator will allow Thrive to guide local businesses and give new life to Iola, Kansas's economic development.
Development had existed organically. Businesses come, businesses go, and businesses started and were successful. Thrive just took the approach of we can provide more resources for businesses.
Organization has been guiding and nurturing local businesses since 2014. Well, the Cincinnati Zoo is asking for the public's help in naming its newborn baby hippo. Remember, last week we told you BB the hippo had given birth last Wednesday night. The new calf will stay off exhibit for a few weeks, allowing it to bond with its mother. BB's previous calf is Fiona, who was born premature, weighing just 29 pounds, which is very small for a hippo. And now Fiona is happy and healthy and weighs about 1,300 pounds. The public is encouraged to send name ideas for Fiona's little sister through the Cincinnati Zoo's website. So the mother is BB, sister is Fiona. What should they name the new little girl?
That's a tough one. You know, you could go for a Shrek theme, but we're running out of options because you can't name
I
that
think
hippo
we need
Shrek.
another F name so we could have BFFs.
Okay.
Because they'll be best friends forever.
They will
Mama
be.
and the two daughters, yeah.
They
Unless they
certainly-
separate them and ship them off to another zoo.
No, you can't do that. Can you imagine, though, if that was the life we led? The public named us,
Oh,
and then after a while, we were shipped off to somewhere thousands of miles away
and put in a cage.
and never to see our family again. I'm just saying, that'd be an interesting life to lead. But hey, these hippos, though, they're
It's a
living
cute little
the
baby.
life. It absolutely is. Baby hippos.
Fiona, Franny.
Yeah, I like baby hippos. Well, hey, do you know what happened back on this day in weather history?
Oh, please tell me.
Control your enthusiasm, Tanya. Now she's shaking her head. See, I do this to her every morning. I throw something at her, and she just looks at me like, why are you here? It's like, I could just do this show without you at this point. See, there's the face. There's the face. So back in 1983, the temperature at Bighorn Basin, Wyoming, reached 115 degrees to set a state record. Now, the good news is we're not going to be setting any state records around here. Not today. It's going to be hot, but we're not going to be setting any state records. Despite rain, we are going to see rain, though. And despite that, it's still going to be hot today. Scattered storm chances will increase as the day goes on, and they're actually going to stick around with us into tomorrow. So let's take a look. The Skywatch storm tracker, there were a few spotty showers in our northwestern counties. They've kind of died out. There's more off to our northwest, out northeast of Wichita, but off to our northwest. A little confusing there. These will increase in coverage as the day goes on. So right now, 7th and range line, there's a few high clouds up there. We got partly cloudy skies. Those clouds will increase as the day progresses. 79 feels like 81 in Joplin. Most of us starting our day close to 80 degrees, at least in the upper 70s right now. And we're also contending with dew points in the upper 60s to lower 70s as moisture increases in advance of the storms that we will see. So let's talk about the rest of today. As we go through the afternoon, temperatures will push into the upper 90s, 97 by 5, but you also see these thunderstorm icons because the storm chances will increase. Still going to be hot, no heat advisories, but still going to be hot today with heat index values pushing 101. Heading into the overnight, storm chances will stick around with us. Lows dropping off into the lower 70s. Could even see some heavy rain with some of these storms with southwest breeze. Take a look at the future track. Shows these storms starting to pick up as the day progresses. They'll really increase in coverage by this evening and into the overnight hours, and then they'll return again by tomorrow. So let's take a look at that 7-day forecast. Good chance of rain today. Doesn't do much for temperatures, but it sticks around through the night and into tomorrow, which keeps us in the upper 80s to maybe some lower 90s. Early morning chances for Wednesday, and then it clears out and it heats up. Look at that 7-day forecast, or don't. You can just avert your eyes. But we got triple-digit temperatures returning to wrap up the weekend as we head into the weekend. So warm, unpleasant, but at least for today and tomorrow, we're getting some more rain, and it's still something that we very desperately need here in the 4 states.
All right, well, up next, monkeypox is declared a public health emergency. We'll explain what that means.
And later, a hip-hop and food festival came to Queens, New York over the weekend. We'll take you there. You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14.
Honey!
In Health Watch this morning, it's now declared a public health emergency in the U.S. as cases of monkeypox continue to climb. White House officials say they're confident the U.S. will get its arms around the outbreak amid criticism for its handling of it. Mandy Gaither has more on this declaration and how the vaccine strategy may change.
Nearly 3 months after the first case of monkeypox was reported in the U.S., the Biden administration has now declared the virus a public health emergency.
What that's going to do is going to help accelerate the vaccine production and distribution. This includes new dosing strategies that have the potential to increase the number of available doses by 5-fold.
To make the vaccine supply go farther, officials are considering allowing one-dose vial of the vaccine to administer up to 5 separate doses. That would involve injecting the vaccine into the skin itself rather than just under the skin as it is now.
About 1.6 million Americans are in that high-risk group that should get vaccinated.
More than 6,600 probable or confirmed cases have been detected in the U.S. since mid-May, and cases continue to climb. One criticism of the response has been the delay in bulk ordering the monkeypox vaccine.
There is one small manufacturer in Denmark that's making vaccines for the whole world. They have very limited capacity.
150,000 additional monkeypox vaccine doses are expected to arrive in the U.S. in September, earlier than expected.
I still remain confident that we're going to get our arms around this.
Officials from U.S. Health and Human Services say more than 600,000 monkeypox vaccine doses have already been sent to states and jurisdictions thus far. The Seattle Mariners have a new team member and unofficial mascot. Meet Tucker. It's a 4-year-old Labrador Retriever mix who the Mariners saved from euthanasia. The team wanted to remind Seattle baseball fans that there is a huge population of animals who need forever homes. In all likelihood, Tucker will not double as a bat boy or be used to retrieve foul balls, but he is up for snuggling up with fans and his new teammates at the T-Mobile Park. And of course, Tucker has an official Twitter handle. It's at Mariners Pop. That is, just look at him, and you know he's having the time of his life. He's got the biggest yard to play in and the biggest family to go and see as those games get underway. It's going to be just a marvelous time for him. So, it's going to be a marvelous time for us later today as well, because we have increasing storm chances. Now, despite that rain, it's still going to be hot today. I hate to tell you. Still going to be hot today. Some relief, brief relief at least, on the way. Those scattered storm chances will increase through the rest of the day, and they're actually even going to stick around with us into tomorrow. So let's start talking about all that. Right now, the Skywatch storm tracker for most of us is pretty clear, but off to the northwest, see some showers and thunderstorms out to the northeast of Wichita. And that is going to increase as the day moves along, and they're going to start to move southeast across the area. 7th and range line looks pretty good. It's a nice start to the day. The sun is shining. It's going to be a warm one. It's already pretty warm this morning. 79 to start the day. Feels like 81. And for most of us, we're starting the day in the upper 70s to near 80 degrees. So again, a warm start to the day. I always like this on temperature map where you can see where it's been raining because there's a sharp temperature contrast on there. Dew points are also something we're dealing with. I've been talking about them simply because they are up there in the upper 60s to lower 70s. That's moisture in advance of the showers and storms that are headed our way. So let's talk about what is headed our way. Well, showers and storms, but also another hot day. Highs pushing into the upper 90s. Heat index values up to 101, but we do have increasing storm chances through the day. There's no heat advisories, but as you saw, that doesn't mean it's not going to be hot. Cools off nicely through the night into the lower 70s. Those storm chances sticking around with us. There may even be some heavy rain with a couple of those showers and thunderstorms as they move through. This is about noon. You can see we've got the showers and thunderstorm building in our northwestern counties, Iola, Yates Center, and they will continue to shift south and east. And then look, everybody starts to get in on some kind of shower and thunderstorm activity as this system moves on through and brings us that rain that we absolutely are in need of. And the good news is it sticks around even into tomorrow, which we'll talk about on the 7-day forecast. So, hot today, rain because it sticks with us most of the day, overnight, and into tomorrow. Highs pushing upper 80s to maybe some lower 90s. Early showers on Wednesday, and once that clears on out, the temperatures skyrocket. We're looking back into the lower 100s as we wrap up this week and head into the weekend. So summer is still here, unfortunately, and it's going to stick around. But we are getting a brief break. We are getting some showers and some thunderstorm activity, which is, again, something we very desperately need. We've got more of the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14 right after this.
Welcome back. I've got Pastor Donnie Talent from Victory Life Church in studio again with us this morning. Earlier this morning, we talked about next Monday's back-to-school haircut events that's going on. It's moving to a new location. There's something big happening at the church, though.
Yeah, so we have been working since 2019. We joined the Chamber of Commerce, and we came to the realization of childcare being the #1 need in our community. And so we have been working extremely hard on taking some of our existing facilities to do childcare. And we've also had the great opportunity within the last 6 to 8 months for autism. So our facility will be a childcare / autism community center, first in the county for the autism side, which will be a huge, huge piece.
There's not anything like that in
Nothing in the county.
In the Pittsburgh area.
Yeah, nothing in the Pittsburgh area. I mean,
county.
you know, the last couple of years with the childcare or with the haircut events, we've noticed some autistic kids coming through to get haircuts, and so we really put our attention towards that. So we'll have about 10,500 square feet for childcare, and we'll have about 2,500 square feet for autism. You can see some of the photos here. This little guy here a couple years ago came through, and you know, autistic, but you know, we had some people on staff and they were able to help. And there's another one, that's my daughter, bless her heart. She autistically helped him get the haircut. And those are some of the techniques that the families need to know and some of the training. And so this autism center, along with the child care, will be able to help fill that gap.
Of course, something like this comes with a big price tag.
It does, and so we've raised a little over $500,000 for it. We're hoping to have in the next couple of weeks our full funding. Will be a little bit over $1 million to complete the whole entire project, which will put us about 82 toddlers and infants, and then we'll have 15 to 25 autistic kids that will be able to, and families be able to be served also in that location. So.
I mean, and this comes with staffing too, trained staffing as well.
Correct. So the autistic side is all a doctors driven. We have a couple doctors on staff that will be able to take that part, and then the early childhood development on the other side as far as the child care. And I just need to say real quick before I forget to shout out for Ann Elliott and the Family Resource Center. I mean, they've done a wonderful job for over 20-some years in our community. But the need is just sometimes just too much for just one to carry. So we saw the opportunity. We worked in conjunction with them. We worked in conjunction with the city and chamber and tried to put those pieces together to have another option to help. I mean, Pittsburgh is growing. The community is growing. It's a valuable asset, and we just happen to just fall right in the right time to hopefully be a valuable community piece.
I definitely agree that there is a need. My kids, my younger two, went to the Family Resource Center, but they were on a waiting list to get in.
Yeah.
And one of them didn't get in until the other one did. So
yeah.
like there's too many kids in Pittsburgh, which is a wonderful thing that we have so many kids.
Exactly.
But there's, like
the
you
need.
said, there's the child care facilities or the trained child care facilities. There's not enough.
Yeah, so there's about 150 kids on a waiting list. So if you get pregnant, you're 12 to 15, 18 months before you get in. And any child care. I know we have some home-based child care, but I mean, it's a tremendous need. And with some businesses growing and coming in is a tremendous need too. So all of these years of the back to school event and all those community resources that we've connected has just been great. Everybody sees the need. So we're really excited about the future of the community. We're excited about the future of the church and what we'll be able to do.
And we keep talking about the back to school event.
Yeah.
In previous years, it's been at the church. This
Correct.
year, you're moving it to the Lincoln Center in Lincoln Park.
Correct. Looking for that place to land, which was a great piece, working with the city. And so, like I said, on the previous, Riggs Chiropractic brought that carousel, and it was just a great piece. We look forward to it being a great place to land that event and growing that event throughout the years there. So also I need to put the pitch, if you're a stylist, we were still looking for a few stylists, just an hour of volunteer time. You know, call us, let us know. We have everything set up for you. All you have to do is just bring your clippers, your blow dryer, your licensing, and put a smile on a kid's face, which is priceless. I mean, those kids light up. It's great. And I have to say it this way, I mean, sometimes that's the only haircut those kids get for the whole year. So it's a great event, and we look forward to it. There's a great one. So everything's set up. But if you're a stylist and you're saying, hey, I'd like to help out, we'd love to have you part of it. Just an hour or two would be great.
And after you check in and get your haircut, then you can walk over the bridge down to Kittyland and check out all the activities you guys have set up.
Exactly.
And if you want to learn more about those activities, we talked about them in our other segment, and you can find them in this web story on our website at KOAMnewsnow.com here in a little bit.
Great stuff.
All right. Well, thank
Thanks,
you so
Tanya.
much for coming in.
Thank you.
And good luck. Hope you guys get the last bit of funding that you need for that.
Yep. Thank you. Thank you.
All right. We'll be right back. It's time to honor today's four-state hero, Ryan Qualls. Staff Sergeant Qualls served in the U.S. Army, serving in Iraq with the 891st Engineers. During his service, he was wounded by an IED and fired upon by insurgents. Also earned a Purple Heart during his service. Native of Baxter Springs, Kansas, we thank you, today's four-state hero, Ryan Qualls.
Well, rappers responsible for the show and the food at a festival in Queens on Saturday.
Lisa Evers reports.
On a 90-degree day, it was even hotter on stage as hip-hop's most beloved superstars brought their A-game to LL Cool J's Rock the Bells festival. The Locks got the crowd amped and raised the bar for everyone who followed, including Rick Ross. They were among hip-hop's living legends who touched down on the Forest Hill Stadium stage, brought together by LL Cool J. It was Nori's first time performing in New York in 6 years. And in terms of what this means for hip-hop, for New York City right now, coming out of the pandemic, the whole nine.
For it to be for Queens, I'm from 10 minutes away, you know what I'm saying, from 97-30, 57th Avenue, 10 minutes away. For it to be here, LL, do your thing, that's great, man. I love it.
The festival also featured a hip-hop themed food court, including the new delicacy from Texas, Trill Burgers from Houston rapper Bun B.
When I saw that they were doing the festival, the first thing I did was ask, could I bring my burgers? He was like, yeah, sure, bring them. And then I was like, yo, the same way that I think people would appreciate my burgers from Texas and New York, I bet they'd appreciate Mia X's food. I bet they'd like E40's food, you know what I'm saying? Nas's chicken. So we teamed up to put together a fully sustained hip-hop food court.
It was a special day for Queens native LL Cool J. He was given the key to the city and special proclamations by local officials.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, another half hour of news and weather is just ahead. Coming up on the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14, a sausage prank that was out of this world and galaxy, mostly out of this world, and only Jeannie Moose can bring us this prank.
And Nisha Butler, a former WNBA player, sets her sights from the court to helping others. You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. We'll be right back.
A big deal.
The four states' most watched news starts now.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. It's currently 7:31. Let's take a look at today's top stories. Federal authorities charge a Central Missouri man accused of taking a weapon with him to the January 6th riot at the U.S. Capitol. According to the U.S. Justice Department, 36-year-old Jared Thomas Barger of Centralia was arrested in Osage Beach, Missouri. He was charged with entering a restricted building or grounds with a weapon and unlawful possession of a firearm on Capitol grounds or buildings, along with related misdemeanors. The Kansas City Star reports Barger is the 23rd Missourian charged in connection to the January 6th insurrection. He is not accused of entering the Capitol building. Federal documents allege Barger took a 9mm semi-automatic pistol with him to a rally and then to the Capitol. Barger did not have a license to carry a weapon in the District of Columbia. One man is dead and two others injured after a crash in southwest Missouri. Authorities say a Pittsburgh man was driving on Southwest 60th Road south of Minden Mines. He drove off the road, hit a tree, and the vehicle overturned. A passenger, 19-year-old Tristan Davis of Mulberry, Kansas, was pronounced dead at the scene. Both the driver and the other passenger were taken to local hospitals for treatment. Authorities arrest a suspect in Kansas wanted for killing 4 people in Ohio. Police in Montgomery County's Butler Township said late Saturday night, 39-year-old Stephen Marlowe was taken into custody by police in Lawrence, Kansas. He's wanted in Ohio for shooting and killing 4 people, with one of the victims a teenage girl. They say Marlowe will be sent to Ohio to face charges. Carthage Museum is being remodeled to help local high school students graduate on time. The Powers Museum was gifted to the Board of Education to expand their Powers Learning program. The program is designed to help high school seniors and juniors catch up on credits in order to graduate on time.
Be here for half the day, either in the morning or the afternoon. They can choose. When they're not in this building, they will either be taking classes at our tech center, or they can be released on a work program, so they can earn credit if they have steady employment as well.
Remodeling is in its final stages. The Rotary Club volunteers in Pittsburgh were collecting school supplies with the Salvation Army in front of Walmart's on Saturday. Supplies are distributed by the Pittsburgh Community School District to students in the community. Rotary Club volunteer Jeff Elliott thinks this is necessary because the prices in general are going up.
Walmart's been a great partner, so we've had people coming by and providing us bags of school supplies that they've purchased inside, or in some cases just simply making a cash donation that we can turn into school supplies later.
Salvation Army's Stuff the Bus school supply drive will take place at more than 4,500 Walmart stores across the country. You can find a full list of 4 state organizations hosting their own back-to-school events for back-to-school supplies on our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. You can also download the KOAM News Now mobile app to find the closest back-to-school bash near you. It is available free of charge in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. Just search for the KOAM News app. The Choco Taco may yet get a second life. Klondike says an outpouring of support for the product has certainly made them reconsider their long-term plans. It was a few weeks ago the ice cream novelty maker shook social media when it announced the Choco Taco would be discontinued. That's the day I learned of its existence. Reason given, a result of complex production challenges amid the pandemic. Klondike's announcement upset many on Twitter. Even Senator Chris Murphy chimed in to jokingly announce he would push to invoke the Defense Production Act to mandate Choco Taco production. Jokingly, of course. Klondike, in a statement, says a plan to bring it back is in the works, although it may take some time. I'm telling you, though, obviously people weren't buying it. That's why they wanted to discontinue it. You don't just discontinue something if it was a top seller.
The people have spoken, though. They want to still see it on the store shelves.
So they want to see
it
expiring on the shelves, yes, because are they going to actually buy it this time around?
I will. I still can't believe you hadn't heard of the Choco Taco.
No.
I mean, that's just alarming to me. Well, when they start making them again, we'll have to get you some. You got to try one. They're good. It's not a real taco shell, Tanya. It's a waffle.
I don't like chocolate and ice cream together. I'm weird. It's all, chocolate and ice cream.
I don't know what's going on in this building right now.
I know. I look at that and it doesn't make me feel good.
Interesting. Well, what is your favorite ice cream then?
Butter pecan.
Butter pecan. Okay.
If you filled the Choco Taco with butter pecan, then I would eat that.
Well, perhaps we can contact Klondike and see.
Or maybe make a strawberry Choco Taco or a strawberry taco.
What would you do
Straco taco?
for a Choco Taco?
Nothing.
All right, we'll have to see what we can come up with here. Something else we're keeping up with is rain chances. Now, despite any rain we see, it's still going to be a hot day today, unfortunately. But the scattered storm chances will increase through the day, and they're actually going to stick around with us tomorrow. I wanted to show you a slightly wider view. We have a cold front. It's kind of stalled out. It's going to start pushing southeast, and as it does, these showers and storms are going to move into our area. Quick check of 7th and range line. The sky is looking pretty darn good. We are starting the day at 79, feels like 81. Most of us starting in the upper 70s to near 80 degrees, and a quick we'll worry about the dew points later. They're increasing because we got moisture increasing. We got storm chances building in. They'll last through most of the day. Afternoon highs pushing the upper 90s with heat index values of 101. So we go through the night. Storm chances stick with us. Temperatures in the lower 70s. Maybe some heavy rain possible with some of those storms as well. But we do have storm chances, and they'll stick with us even into tomorrow. We got more of the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14 when we come back. This morning, we're discussing air conditioning. Now, here in the United States, many people use air conditioning to beat the heat. That's if you're lucky enough to have it. And however, in Europe, that's not so much the case, as Europe is bracing for another round of sweltering heat. Temperatures are expected to top 100 degrees in the coming days. But folks in Spain won't find much relief indoors, and that's because of a new law that's requiring businesses, museums, restaurants, and even public transportation follow strict temperature rules. The Spanish minister delivered the news saying the thermostat in winter should be held at a maximum 66 degrees and in the summer no cooler than 80. The law comes as Spain deals with double whammy. The war in Ukraine sent energy prices skyrocketing as Russia's cut gas supplies to Europe. And that brings us to our something to talk about this morning. What temperature do you keep your thermostat at? in the summer? Is it 60, 65, 66, 68, 70, maybe something else? Most of you saying something else, but there's a few of you who like it a little bit cooler. 68, getting 11%, even 4% of you saying you keep it at 60. That's a little bit too chilly for me. I keep it at 74 overnight and 76 by day. Well, you might have seen Nisha Butler scoring points as a professional basketball player for the New York Liberty. Now she's scoring points for education, teaching children skills for some of the nation's most important jobs. Astrid Martinez has her story.
Nisha Butler is blazing a trail, bringing a bit of Silicon Valley to Brooklyn.
Let's run your program and see if you got it right.
Butler opened the STEAM Champs Education Center in July. That's STEM with an extra A for arts, teaching skills from computer coding to robotics to chess.
We are a science, technology, engineering, arts, and math center. We wanted to include art. A lot of times the kids are on the computer a lot and they don't have a lot of unplugged activities.
For this native New Yorker, it's another pivot in an already impressive career that began on the basketball court at Georgia Tech and then the WNBA's New York Liberty. But the STEM seed was planted when she was 12 and took her first computer science class.
I really look back to that time because that set the foundation, that gave me the confidence, that gave me the skill. It was a year-long class. And I realized I was only female in that class. And of course, the only person of color in that class.
A poll released last year found Black people account for just 9% of the STEM workforce, a statistic Butler wants to change. 7-year-old Theodore Van is one of her students, though a STEM job is just one of his career goals.
I want to be a basketball player, soccer player, tennis player, and I want to be a scientist, a pizza chef, and I want to go up to space.
Did you imagine this would be your afterlife after basketball?
You know what? No, I didn't. I'm actually having a purpose to make a difference in these kids' lives.
A difference that could open young minds to new possibilities and build a pathway to success. Astrid Martinez, CBS News, Brooklyn, New York.
Butler believes STEAM Champs is the country's first Afro-Latina-owned educational center specializing in robotics. We're back with more right after this.
In Consumer Watch this morning, Wall Street ended the week with a mixed session on Friday. The Dow rose 76 points. The Nasdaq fell 63 and the S&P 500 lost 6 points. Today, we will see how investors react to news. Senate Democrats passed a major economic package that tackles key parts of President Biden's domestic agenda. CBS correspondent Elise Preston has this morning's other business headlines.
After passing in the Senate Sunday, the Democrats' economic package next heads to the House, where it's expected to go up for a vote on Friday. The bill is comprised of health care, climate change, and deficit reduction initiatives. Democrats say it's the biggest investment ever in fighting global warming, and it promises to cap out-of-pocket prescription drug costs for seniors with Medicare coverage at $2,000 a year. CVS Health is looking to branch out into the home health services business, according to a report in the Wall Street Journal. The newspaper says the drugstore chain and pharmacy benefits management giant is interested in buying Signify Health and plans to enter a bid this week. CVS could face competition from other bidders as Signify explores its options, including a sale. At the box office, Bullet Train took the top spot with ticket sales of an estimated $30 million in its opening weekend. The Brad Pitt action movie is expected to be the summer's last major release as Hollywood works to recover from the shutdowns of the pandemic. DC League of Super Pets fetched more than $11 million at North American theaters, and Jordan Peele's Nope came in third with more than $8 million.
We'll be right back with more after this, but first, let's take a look at the market prices before the opening bell. It's a sausage prank that was literally out of this world.
Jeannie Moose has the story of a sausage slice impersonating a celestial body seen through the Webb telescope.
We've all been looking at them in awe, gushing over them.
Look at this thing. Isn't it beautiful?
Even if we're not quite sure we understand what these gorgeous Webb telescope images are actually showing, especially this one. The planet Nibiru, 5 billion light years away. No, a salami slice.
It feels great. It smells amazing.
Actually, something smells fishy. Turns out a famous French physicist,
C'est-à-dire?
named Etienne Klein, posted the image saying it was taken by the Webb telescope, a photo of Proxima Centauri, the closest star to the sun. Most of his Twitter followers got the joke, that it was actually chorizo, pork sausage. Of course, the internet responded by grinding out more sausage images, passing them off as the view from another angle or another planet orbiting the original sausage star. But some didn't appreciate mixing astronomy and gastronomy.
And just give it a good massage. Engage with your food.
The esteemed physicist engaged with his critics, apologizing and calling the photo a form of amusement, but urging people to be cautious about accepting eloquent images at face value. No object belonging to Spanish charcuterie exists anywhere but on Earth, Klein tweeted. Still, if the moon is supposedly made of cheese,
It's like no cheese I've ever tasted.
why can't a star be made of sausage? The joke and the meat have this much in common.
Sweet, a little spicy.
Jeannie Mose, CNN, New York.
Seems like that star photo got a little spicy.
It did. I liked all the sausage, instructional videos in there and, cooking segments.
This is how you massage your meat.
Yes.
All right, we will be right back.
Oh, gosh. No.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. Here's what's happening today. Vice President Kamala Harris cast the deciding vote as the Senate approved a budget bill that addresses a number of President Biden's legislative priorities. The Inflation Reduction Act aims to reduce health care and prescription drug costs while investing nearly $400 billion in efforts to fight climate change. The House is expected to vote on the measure on Friday. Police believe a killer or killers may be targeting Muslim men in Albuquerque, New Mexico. 3 have been murdered in the past week and a half. The most recent victim was identified on Saturday. Detectives say at least one of the deaths is connected to a killing that happened in the city last year. Palestinian and Israeli officials are hopeful a ceasefire that began last night will hold after a weekend marred by cross-border violence. The Egyptian government brokered the truce after more than 40 people, including several children, were killed by airstrikes in Gaza.
We have got thunderstorms building today. Nothing right now, but that will change as the day progresses, and those chances will increase, but so will the temperatures. Afternoon highs still pushing into the upper 90s rather for afternoon highs. Heat index values pushing 101. So even though there's no heat advisories in effect right now, it's still going to be pretty toasty out. Now, overnight, the storms stick with us and temperatures dropping back off into the lower 70s. We may even see some heavy rain with some of those showers and storms. And a quick look at the future track. We've got this cold front that right now is positioned right about here, and it's going to start to shift off to the southeast. Now, as it does so, it will bring more scattered thunderstorm chances to the area as we progress through the evening and overnight, and we'll see those even stick around into tomorrow. And on the 7-day forecast, you can see between the rain today and tonight and tomorrow, temperatures tomorrow, upper 80s rather. I'm so used to saying that. Upper 80s to lower 90s. Maybe some storms to start the day Wednesday, but once they clear out, the temperatures behind that really pick up. So we see 99 on Wednesday, and then we're back into the lower 100s to wrap up the rest of the week, unfortunately. But it is still summer, it is still August, and that's just kind of the way things tend to roll around here. Is we're not done with the heat yet, but just remember, fall's just around the corner.
Yeah, that sounds like it's going to be.
It doesn't
pretty
seem
miserable.
like
I
it,
don't
but-
like those lows. We need to get back into the 60s for lows.
Oh, that would be really nice. But here's the deal. It's already the 8th of August, which means we're that much closer to September, and then after that comes October, and you know there's no real fall, so we'll be diving into winter by the beginning of October.
We
around
skipped
here,
spring, so we might as well skip fall
yeah,
too.
there's no break in seasons.
2 seasons. 4 states only has 2 seasons.
4 states and 2 seasons.
We're getting used to it.
That we are.
All right, well, it looks like the future will be bright for the next generation of automobiles. Magna, a leading global mobility tech company, is rolling out its latest technology of breakthrough lighting. Advanced lighting using LEDs hidden inside thermoplastic body panels until they're illuminated. These lights can communicate with the driver, for example, illuminating autonomous to indicate to drivers what mode it's in.
That's interesting. The owner can also program their color choices from an extensive color palette. Car can also tell the owner if the doors are unlocked or if it's low on charge. Now, Magna plans to have the technology ready for production in 2023. That reminds me of those old commercials where it was still showing, or not commercials, cartoons, where they were signaling with their arm and there was an arrow that would appear on the back of the car. Yeah. I like the old cartoons. Anyway, thank you so much for letting us put the good in your morning. We'll be back with more news and weather at noon.
Have a great morning and an even better day.
Now the numbers are